Breaking, Trump just made cheating Dems pay. They respond with all-out unrest by Prissy Holly for freedomdaily.com. If there's one thing we learned about the presidential election last year, it was that liberals will do whatever it takes to win. We constantly heard incidents of voter fraud taking place where Hillary's minions were voting multiple times and buses of people were being transported into key swing counties in order to throw the vote. Massive voter fraud was discovered in Alabama, where Secretary of State John Merrill is now launching a formal, I would assume, investigation into voter fraud accusations. Now, with liberals eyeing other races to steal, with the recent election for New York mayor taking place, voter fraud has already been discovered, but this time liberals have gotten a little too cocky for their own britches after the unbelievable thing liberals did to Trump's entire family. Up until now, it's been fairly easy for liberals to bury evidence of their voter fraud, as evidenced by Alabama's Senate race, any evidence of electronic votes being cast by illegals voting multiple times or by non-residents, or illegals were erased forever after a liberal judge made the unbelievable ruling that counties in Alabama could destroy all electronic voting records, coming off another brazen stolen win. Liberals in New York thought for sure they could just trash absentee voter ballots for the Republican candidate Nicole Maliotakis, and no one would notice. But when these cheating morons decided to scrap the absentee ballots for Trump and his entire family, unfortunately for these cheaters, their antics this time didn't go unnoticed. Wow. Conservative Daily Post reported in the latest New York City mayoral race, there were 3 prominent votes that were not counted. Those of Ivanka Trump and husband Jared Kushner, as well as the ballot belonging to First Lady Melania Trump. The 3 applied to vote via absentee ballot in the mayoral election on November 7th. However, they made mistakes on their applications and ballots, so their votes were not counted, according to a report by the New York Daily News. The New York City Board of Elections reported on the issue. When you cast a ballot via mail, you must sign the envelope. Melania Trump did not. Ivanka mailed her ballot too late, so it was not counted. Kushner applied for and obtained a ballot but never mailed it at all. While the New York mayor race is over, the recent Senate race in Alabama is being turned on its head. Moore still has a chance to win after voter fraud was discovered, and there's now an active investigation underway to make these cheaters pay, the Daily Wire reported. Alabama Secretary of State John Merrill has launched an investigation into voter fraud accusations from last week's Senate special election, in which Democrat Doug Jones was declared the winner over his Republican opponent, embattled Judge Roy Moore. Moore has yet to officially concede. The investigation was triggered by a viral video of Jones' supporter telling Fox 10 reporter Katie Weiss that he and others had traveled from different parts of the country to vote for their candidate Jones. We came here all the way from different parts of the country as part of our fellowship, and all of us pitched in to vote and canvass together, and we got our boy elected, said the unidentified man. Well, it's very disconcerting when someone who's not from Alabama says that they participated in our election. So now it's incumbent upon us to try to identify this young man to see what kind of role he played. if it was to simply play a canvassing role, or if he was part of a process that went out and tried to register voters, or if he himself actually became a registered voter, he said. The Secretary of State said he's received hundreds of emails inquiring about the video. I've got to do everything I possibly can to try and find this guy and figure out, was he just exuberant in his expression? Was he overly enthusiastic about what was going on? Merrill said. Those things make perfect sense to me. He's a kid. Yeah, right. Probably never been on TV before. If he had, he probably hadn't been on more than a couple of times. Probably never been on TV in a situation that was that intense with that much going on. Give me a break. Unreal. It's time for heads to roll. Yes. It's time for heads to roll. What are you kidding me? Why do we have to find him? Why can't you look at your voting ballots to see and match them up with the people that are from Alabama if they're matching up? What do you mean you got to find the guy only? Yes, you can find the guy, but there are steps that you could probably take where it's not such an imperative thing to find him, because then he's just going to change his story. They're going to tell him to change his story. That's all. Oh, no, I wasn't there for that. I just meant that. You know? What? This is sickening. But it's unbelievable, the voting fraud that's taking place. And that has to be put to a stop, where it's just so minuscule that it wouldn't make a difference, you know, because you never can do it 1,000%, you know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.